Let's get you some news from the markets. And Indian markets open lower after Asian markets also extend losses on the Iran-Israel. This is the tension that is brewing between the two nations. We have my colleague Sakshi joining us. Sakshi, when we talk about the Indian rupee, yesterday it fell to 83.44. Today it slipped even further. Is this the weakest ever against the dollar?
That's right. It is the weakest ever, and really volatility really is the name of the game. The Iran-Israel conflict and tension weighing on both equity and currency markets. That's what we are seeing very, very clearly. The rupee weakening to its record low, the lowest ever. And NDTV has been speaking to analysts as well as experts across the board. And what they feel is, one, of course, they fear that this will result in near-term volatility. But what they feel is that, look, the dollar index, remember, has been hitting a record high consistently and is now increasingly in times of uncertainty, just like gold, going to be seen as a safe haven bet. So once something is seen as a safe haven bet, what it essentially means is a weaker rupee going forward. So what analysts now believe is that, look, this volatility is not just spilling into equity markets, but also the currency market at large, the rupee weakening to its record low. And now at the moment we have seen, of course, the Sensex and the Nifty also, remember, tumbling in trade. So really, and it's not just restricted to Indian markets, we have seen Asian markets as well as the currency there also trade weak early this morning. We've got Agam really to detail how the equity markets are trading. Agam, take us through the details on the benchmark indices.
Right. So, well, we do know that the fall in Indian equities started last Friday. Last Friday, what we in fact saw was some bout of profit taking on higher levels. And that has in fact further exacerbated to, well, fresh selling as far as your derivative markets are concerned. At the moment, we do have the conflict in West Asia weighing down on Indian equities. And at the moment, we are looking at both the Nifty and the Sensex, which are key benchmarks, substantially off their life highs. What is also weighing on the indices is, well, mixed cues coming in from the early set of earnings as far as Indian equities go, where your IT companies are starting to report earnings while operating numbers are looking good. There's been a slackness as far as revenue growth is concerned. Moreover, in terms of expectations too, we are looking at mixed cues coming in. And because of that, foreign institutions have continued to sell into Indian equity markets at the moment. But while foreign institutions continue to sell, on the other hand, to counter the selling, we've also had domestic institutions buying into Indian equities, which is why the fall in today's day of trade is not as harsh or as sharp as, well, one might have expected coming through. Some of these factors that we're keeping an eye on as we move into trade today, as well as this upcoming week, will continue to be, earnings coming through, as well as the updates from West Asia. And on the whole, as Sakshi's already mentioned, we are likely to see an increase in volatility and volatility remaining elevated over the course of the next few weeks.
Right. Volatility being elevated over the next few weeks is what analysts across the board are really anticipating. That's all what we have at the moment from the equity and the currency space. Of course, needless to say, gold prices have also been rising and oil rates have also been rising as a result of this tension, and fears of oil supply disruptions are also on the rise. That's what we have as far as business news is concerned. Back to you, Divya, with other news.
Thank you so much, Sakshi, for breaking it down for us.